All right. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome. I am Sherry Mosley. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Welcome back if you're returning. And we're going to be going over our full moon here for November 27th, 2023, and connecting for our meditation, energy transmission, and to talk about this moon a little bit here. So if you're new to the channel, I'm Sherry Mosley. I'm the author of Akashic Enlightenment and Origins of Humanity. And all the work that I do is in Akashic Enlightenment, which includes your Akashic records and the Book of Truth, which is the ascension portion of Akashic Enlightenment, or the enlightenment portion. And everything that I do channels through that field, and it connects to your Akashic records and then helps you along your ascension path. And in these check-ins, we connect to the Temple of Light. And in that higher dimensional space, we connect to the Ascended Masters and the Angelic Hierarchy. And this includes all of the Angelics, but Michael and Metatron tend to show up the most. So, all right, let's settle in here. And this full moon is our first full moon following up the powerful eclipse period that we had in October. And we had a pretty powerful new moon as well just before this. And both of these moons are, kind of catalyzing everything forward to, okay, where are you going now after all of these shifts in that eclipse period, right? Because we had our last eclipses back in May, right? And Pluto was in Aquarius then. So we had eclipses with Pluto and Aquarius, kind of like a little check-in with your soul path, your higher alignment. So there may have been endings to relationships or careers, living situations, all kinds of things, because something needed to be reviewed or something wasn't ready to go forward with the way it was yet, because things are going to come back into Pluto and Capricorn, right? And so then it went back into Capricorn in June, and then through the summer and through now, we're still Pluto and Capricorn. But the eclipses ended, right, end of October. And so now November is new moon, full moon, just after the eclipses. So it is review time in a sense of, okay, what are you ready to start taking action on? And I talked about this a bit at the new moon, where the action may be pretty immediate, right? Some people are moving suddenly, or quitting jobs, or maybe quitting relationships, or getting back into relationships because they've done the work that they needed to do. And so the full moon is kind of continuing that. And so there may be some sudden realizations or changes in those areas. And also it could be just like personal changes in your lifestyle or well-being. It really depends on how it's connecting to your direct soul path, right? Which is mapped out by your astrological chart, more or less. But again, when you bring in the ascension or higher consciousness portion, you may have surpassed some of those things already if you have been working a lot on your higher awareness, right? So that's why we do these sessions, to keep you in alignment with your higher awareness, your higher true self that's connected to source and the divine. And so we'll be doing our check-in for this full moon, and it's beautiful energy that we connect with when we go into that space. And I do a shorter connection here, and then I do an extended transmission meditation on my Patreon membership. And the link for that is below. And I do those for all the moons and eclipses. And there's also the Aqualorian Golden Lotus meditation. That's a weekly check-in, energy report, and meditation. So those are available on my Patreon, but I give a little sample of things here so you can try it out. And for those of you who were following the Mystic Shaman, the podcast that I started, I actually had to kind of put that on hold. I started channeling in a new book with all of the energy. So energy shifting. So I am in the midst of writing a new book, and I need to focus on writing that because it's just channeling in, coming in pretty intensely. So I will be focusing on that, not having so much time to do the podcast for now. But I'll continue doing these little videos. And of course, I'm always doing the events that I do every Friday and Thursday afternoons. I have an event. And right now we're working with Metatron and the Guardian Angelics, helping us to re-encode with new light frequencies and encode with our multidimensional selves. And these sessions have been unlike anything that I have ever done before. And the energy is just so high frequency and so beautiful and so powerful. It's really showing where we are moving forward to when Pluto comes into Aquarius, which is what we are preparing for in these sessions, right? We are, allowing ourselves to come into these new frequencies and new levels of awareness so that when Pluto comes into Aquarius end of January, we're adjusted on a certain level here. And it's almost like the holidays are kind of, at least here in the States, we just had Thanksgiving, and then we'll have, winter solstice and Christmas if you celebrate that, or of course, the Jewish holidays as well. There's so many I can't keep up. I'm personally a winter solstice person, but yeah. But with all of that, there's just so much energy changing. It's almost hard to kind of focus on the holidays in a sense. They're almost like a distracting frequency compared to everything else that is kind of catalyzing and catapulting forward rapidly, right? And you may be feeling this energy too. So you may be tired or feeling it in one way or another, however that comes across for you. And of course, increasing self-care during that is what is usually most helpful. So I encourage that. And part of that self-care is doing this little meditation that we're going to do here, as well as the extended session. All right. So for these sessions, I will be connecting to the higher dimensional plane through Akashic Enlightenment, to the Temple of Light, the Ascended Masters, and the Angelics. If you have access to the Akashic Enlightenment prayer from the Akashic Enlightenment book, feel free to open up your own Akashic Enlightenment just to increase the field that you are in. You may receive more personal messages that way as well, since you are in your individual energy field. And it's not required, you don't have to do that, but it's nice. And, I suggest that you do this kind of when you're in a quiet space and not distracted by too much. Ideally, if you want to kind of dive in, and sometimes the energies are stronger at other times. So depending how strong they get here, sometimes they can make you a little sleepy and kind of, you may feel energy in your body. Some people say tingling, or maybe just like a calm energy coming in, almost like maybe you're sitting in water and it's all around you. Just being in the Akashic Enlightenment field alone can make you feel that way because you're shifting your frequency to a higher frequency. And Akashic Enlightenment is a very high frequency in comparison to maybe a lot of other field work or Akashic field work that you may have done. So it's definitely different than just Akashic Records, because we're also opening the Book of Truth. So we're opening up two frequencies there, right? And applying it personally. So, okay. Oh, one more thing. If you want to learn more about Akashic Enlightenment, we are starting the level 1 training on Thursdays, starting November 30th. You can join live, or if you don't have time to do that, you can just do all the replays. That also works, but that's a great way to learn how to work in your Akashic Enlightenment. All right. So I will go ahead and start opening the space now so that you can start settling in, and then we'll go ahead and do our meditation. All right. Okay. And I do use this Vogel crystal and some other crystals that I have in here. All right. So go ahead and settle in and I'll start opening the space. All right, so we're just settling in here. And now we are starting to connect to the Ascended Masters. And I tend to see Yogananda and Ascended Master Jesus. They tend to be the ones that bring us into that space. Kind of like the spirit teachers I work with. And now we're just moving dimensionally to the Temple of Light space. You may hear light language frequencies. I don't speak the light language as much anymore. The frequencies just come in so quickly now. It's faster than I can speak it, but I can hear it flowing in. Yeah. Here we go. And we're just settling into the Temple of Light, which is all white and gold, but with a portal of light at the front, and all these scented masters and angelics are here. They sit on the lotus flower in the center of it, in the center of the temple. I am just hearing the light codes come in. And what they're calling it is like it's a new light path activation, directing you in a path that is, shifting in one way or another in the material realm, but it is helping you to align with that frequency. You may receive some sort of messages coming in. Primarily seem to be just connecting to the Ascended Masters. I do sense the Angelics are there as a support, just reminding you that they're always there to support you. Okay. It's funny when the Ascended Masters just clap their hands. Like, okay, that's the end. Okay. And we'll continue doing the extended meditation on Patreon, and we'll just start to come back. So we thank the Ascended Masters and the Angelics for the energy and higher wisdom that was shared. And now we start to come back from the Temple of Light, coming back to the room and the space that you're in, coming all the way back. Good. Just feeling your hands and feet, wiggling fingers and toes, maybe needing to rub your hands together. And then maybe opening your eyes to take any notes on anything that you received that you wish to remember. Okay. And yeah, so it's just a beautiful energy. You may feel a little floaty or spaced out afterwards. If you need grounding, you can walk around a little bit. It should settle in. Yeah, but this new moon, this full moon does seem to be a bit uh, catalyzing. So there may be things kind of suddenly happening. Yeah, that you have to kind of integrate or divert around, is what it seems like. Yeah, wonderful. All right, so it's just completing a little more. And yeah, so just a little reminder, yeah, if you need any assistance on your path, you can sign up for a Shamanic Akashic record reading. This is a personal session. I have the 30-minute session if you have just like one question or something that needs to be kind of cleared or healed. And then I have the longer, more traditional 60-minute session. And then there is an hour and a half session if you really need a lot of assistance. So you can sign up for that personal session, or there's also the Akashic Enlightenment training, which is the webinar, or the personal one-on-one training. So you can just sign up like a one-on-one session, and then you'll go through a process of the courses, but they go all the way up to level 10 if you would like to become your own Akashic Enlightenment teacher or reader. So I have a lot of people kind of signing up, feeling called to that program ever since fall started. So I think there are some souls that are feeling very called to connect that way. So that is available, as well as the Aqualorian Crystalline Light Healing. I am now teaching levels 8 through 10, processing the latest downloads from being in Mount Shasta this last August, but levels 1 through 7 are available for training as well. And there's a new offering, the Aqualorian Light Being Attunements. And these are 9 attunements that you get attuned to that then you can pass on to others. And this is, part of the energy that we are going into. And just needing to share these frequencies and pass them on. So that's an easy modality if you feel connected to the Aqualorians and not ready to do all of the levels of training yet. You can always start with level 1 of the Aqualorian Crystal and Light Healing, or if you feel called to the Aqualorian Light Being Attunements, that's also available. And there are samples of the Aqualorian Crystal and Light Healing on my YouTube channel, so you can listen to those and feel those energy healings. There's a couple of different samples for you to try out. And yeah, we'll be continuing with the Metatron and Guardian Angelic events. We'll be doing the Angelic Re-encoding, that's starting on Fridays, and then on Thursdays, the Keepers of Light, where we're diving into looking at all the other dimensional timelines of Earth and where we are heading from looking at all those dimensional timelines. And so both of those are really helping to come into the new energy that we are coming into very rapidly with Pluto and Aquarius. I'm excited. It's going to be exciting. Yeah, so I look forward to connecting with you in one of those ways if you feel called to. And yeah, enjoy your moon cycle, and I will see you next time at the new moon. All right, so just sending you all so much love and light. If you opened your Akashic Enlightenment, remember to close it. All right, bye for now.